But the second day or night, I forgave you can say, the setup, basically. I was like, you know what? It doesn't serve me holding on to all the guilt, shame, anger, all the negative emotions. It doesn't serve me at this point in time, so I'll just let it go. And then I basically get thrown into the brig,
Right.
which is military confinement for the audience. At this point in time, like when you go into military confinement, you're basically stripped down naked. They obviously check for any contrabands or whatever. And then you're thrown into like a cell, what you would normally see in like on the movies. Mm-hmm. It's stainless steel, a toilet and a desk, and then you have a bed with a thin pad, and it's super cold in there. At this point, I'm like still thinking I'm gonna wake up from a dream, but obviously that dream never comes. And one thing that I do like to, I guess, pat myself on the back is like, by the second day or night, I forgave you can say, the setup, basically. I was like, you know what? It doesn't serve me holding on to all the guilt, shame, anger, all the negative emotions. It doesn't serve me at this point in time, so I'll just let it go. And military confinement, it's kind of crazy because you'll have other people also in there for different types of situations. I would say a few days later, I get into Gen Pop, and I talk to other military folks that are in there, and I end up asking, like, when is my attorney supposed to come? They're like, oh, you're supposed to have an attorney already. I'm like, oh, really? Yeah. Oh, well, shit, I don't have one here. So I end up asking other, like, it was funny because I end up talking to like a staff sergeant, an E6 in the military. He's like, I use this private attorney, Mr. Kopka. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I end up just calling him and seeing if he would come and see me take my case. This guy was like 20 grand, by the way. And to give you more context, I was actually looking at a general court-martial. So in the rank of things, for your audience to understand, like I would say a local will be like we call it, so it's like local is like more like your county, and then you have state, and then you have federal. I was looking at a federal level of punishment, so I needed to bring that down to a state level because the maximum sentences was a year. Instead of the minimum sentence was like a year, and then it had no max, right? So as far as time is concerned, that 20 grand was going to be put to good use. So I ended up selling my car and all that stuff, and sold a lot of stuff, and essentially just to pay for the attorney's fee. And then I pled guilty, and I then got my sentence cut down short for a year. So I already had pretrial confinement. I've already served maybe like 2 to 3 months at this point before my trial, and going to trial was probably really scary. Just because there was so much nerves, I was like blacking out in the court, the judge, and I got my sentence, and then off I go. I got transferred, and then I went to Chesapeake, Norfolk, military confinement to serve the rest of my time.
Interesting. And so you had a year total, roughly.
I had about 11 months with 11 to 12, 11 months actually. 11 months because I had good service or good behavior, and then I went to different rehab programs like AA and other things that.
Just to back up a little, like I'm assuming like a relatively good kid is growing up, and then you go into the Marine Corps. Yeah. Was it really the like disinterest of the Marine Corps that caused you to get distracted and start doing this activity? Like, what do you think caused that?
Actually, this funny is I'm an open book, but I don't want to it's kind of in the past. Well, I will say that a family member of mine was like kind of also doing it, so I wanted to help.
So you had some influence.
Yeah, some influence. In that direction. Making money was actually really easy. Making money, honestly, just pushing pills and selling drugs. Yeah. I mean, it's probably the easiest freaking thing ever.
I would assume so, yeah.
But the worst consequences.
When you get out, right? So you serve your time, and now there's probably other things that you have to go through to prove that like you're good to go.